Hello and thank you for joining us on Enjoying and You today, the program where we try to encourage secondary school students to go into the field of engineering, because we know that engineering is the bedrock for development in any nation, especially for Nigeria, a third world country as it were. My name is Susan. The program is brought to you courtesy of Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon, FNSC. Is the reason why we come to your viewing pleasure every Friday. And today is going to be very interesting because the topic that my guest is going to be talking about is a very interesting one. But you know that this program is a very interactive one where we don't just get to talk to you, but you also have an opportunity of talking back to us and winning a prize courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon, FNSC. All right, the question for today that is meant for you are meant to answer is, how many bones are in adult human body? How many bones are in adult human body? If you know the answer, please pick up your phone and let us know how many bones are there in adult human body. If preferably give us the option A, B, C, or D, then we'll get the prize if you get it correctly, courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon, FNSC. All right, I haven't done that. I won't want to waste any of our time. We'll just take this very short break. When we return, I will let you know who my guest is, and I'll let you know what topic he will be discussing with us. Don't go anywhere. Glad to know that you are still there. The program is still Engineering and You, courtesy of Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon, FNSC. My guest for today is Engineer ADEMEHIN OLUGOYEGA ADEWALE. He's Director of Vehicle Inspection Services, Ogun State. And he's here to talk about a very interesting topic, I must say, that is titled Engineering and the Society. What is it all about? I just give him the opportunity to continue with that, to tell us what it is all about, engineering and society. But first of all, welcome to Engineering and You, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Good evening.
All right, so you can go ahead with your presentation.
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. The topic is engineering and the society. And we all know that the society is getting better every day due to technology, invention, investment, and infrastructure. And that is why I want to talk about engineering and society, especially for our students who are still looking up for a good career. I'm trying to tell them that engineering is the best career any child can look up to. There is a program that the Ministry of Education, Federal Ministry of Education puts together, which is called STEM. This program is a program to develop primary and secondary school students to be able to get them acquainted with science, technology, mathematics, so that they can be in that profession. Yeah, and as we all know, it is what is engineering really? Engineering, people say, is the application of science. So which is an innovation or an art to improve the society. Well, engineering, as you see, is a profession that requires a lot of invention and thinking. You know, as an engineer, to be able to improve your society, all you need to do is, according to the studies you have gone through in school, you have to think ahead of other individuals and other situations. For example, if an engineer is to construct a road, he has a lot to think about. The flood, the rate at which there is traffic congestion and all that. I am from the Ministry of Transportation, and there's a lot of words of experience that we have gathered even on the field. And looking at the engineering profession, looking at the slide on the you can see the types of the skills and salary scales. So for people to think that hard work does not pay, it pays a lot. You can see in science, we have different types of biochemistry, biophysics, organic chemistry, and their salary scale is also there. The list there is like £63,000. And in engineering too, you can see we have aerospace engineering, biomedical engineering, and electrical engineering, and many that you cannot even mention here. Even in mathematics too, we have a lot, applied maths and all that. Data science, they all pay well. So engineering is a field that is very important. And recently, please, the slide can go up. You know, I've defined this before. You can put the slides. You know, there are different types of engineering. Even from the ancient days, we've heard about ancient civilization, which started in Egypt. When they built pyramids and all that, it's all basically engineering that improved the society in those days. And we can also go to other types of seasons. We have all the types of engineering are here, the tables of engineering, environmental engineering, aerospace, mechanical, electrical, chemical, and all types of engineering that we have are also in the space there. You can keep the slide up. Yeah. The ancient engineering, classic engineering, medieval, industrial, and modern engineering. All these are stages of engineering. This is the ancient engineering where the Egyptians tried to invent civilization by putting up structures, planning and construction of structures like irrigation. And classic engineering, when the Greeks, Romans made specific engineering advancements during their own period. You know, they invented geometry and mathematics, which enables them to create stone structures like the Parthenon. Medieval engineering and architecture were two areas that saw numerous breakthrough during the medieval period. Builders and engineers developed new techniques to construct massive structures, including castles, cathedrals, and all that. Industrial engineering, you know, this is where this came to place in the 18th and 19th century, where steam engines are used to power loom, allow factory to produce goods in greater quantities. You know, before you want to produce a plastic cup, it might take some hours, but now that there are industrial engineering is in place, you can produce 500 cups within 20 minutes. And the modern engineering which we are now, over 20th century, engineering developed grew and new disciplines including electrical, chemical, aerospace engineering were created. New techniques like cars, jets, computer were also developed in large parts. Yeah. Now let us dive into this particular engineering. We are coming down to Ogun State. Yeah, this is it's talking about mechanical engineering. I told you I'm a mechanical engineer by my field. In this particular section, mechanical engineering is very wide. It's great room for specialization in areas such as robotic, aerospace, automotive engineering, heat, ventilation and air conditioning, biochemistry, etc. So recently, the government of Ogun State, under the leadership of our Excellency Prince Dr. ADEMEHIN, were able to convert some diesel-powered mass transit buses to CNG. CNG is a compressed natural gas, and it's also a form of power that you can use to power our vehicles. Why this? Before the time of the first subsidy removal, the Ogun State government has noticed that we can no longer continue to pollute the environment, because even these are petrol and diesel cause a lot of pollution. So we started the plan to convert most of our government mass transit buses into CNG. But fortunately for us, we are doing that when the subsidy was even removed. And looking at this conversion is a lot of cost-saving venture. There's also CNG is absolutely is a compressed natural gas, a technology of fuel source used primarily for vehicles and extend for industrial and residential use. So CNG is considered cleaner and more environmental friendly. Yeah. And look at the savings. Then I told you that it is a little bit it's cost effective. You know, this is what engineers do. You need to think ahead of the cost implication of all that you're doing, how to save cost and all that. So in this particular place, if you look at the other table on the screen, see the first consumption for 100 kilometer for petrol. You can see the amount for CNG. If you go a little bit down, you see that of CNG too. Is 10 liters, but the price difference between that of CNG, if they all move at 100 kilometers, is like 3,700. That's the difference. Just if you put 10 liters quantity of petrol and 10 liter quantity of CNG in the vehicle. So this the Ogun State government were able to achieve, and now you can see our mass transit buses in operating in Adaton, Itaoshi route, and also in Ibafo, Imowe, down to Lagos route, and they are working perfectly and cost effective.
With the CNG?
Yeah, the CNG buses, yeah, the one that was converted by the government. So, in conclusion, engineering is a crucial part of our society because it provides solutions to the problem we face on our daily lives. Engineers use their knowledge and skills and creativity to design, build and maintain systems, structures and technologies that improve our quality of life. From providing clean water, electricity, developing life-saving medical devices, engineering makes a tangible impact on the world around us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Engineer ADEMEHIN, for that insightful, brief, and very revealing presentation. Well, I want to, you can call us if you want to. The phone lines are on the screen. Call us and let us know. Answer our question first, then you can ask my guest whatever question you want to ask. But first of all, the one thing I got from your presentation is engineering does not only make life easy, it also reduces the cost of living to the barest minimum. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
So how, first of all, let me ask, what's the relationship between mathematics and engineering and development? Because it's as if you ask most young people nowadays, they'll tell you, I don't really like mathematics. Are there relationship between mathematics, engineering and development of the science?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. There is a very strong relationship. You know, mathematics is the key of all sciences. If you want to go into physics, physics is more of an application of engineering. You know, when you go into physics, you study Archimedes' principle, first law of motion, second law of motion. All these equations and calculations, they are all from mathematics. And in the application, you know, what you want to develop, for example, you want to develop society, you want infrastructure, you all need this calculation. For example, if a road is congested, for example, we have traffic engineering department in my ministry. If a road is always congested with traffic flow, as an engineer, you go there, check the length and the length of the road, you check the traffic flow of the road, how many vehicles pass it. It's all counting, and counting is mathematics. Before you can now come up with a design to ease that traffic congestion. So mathematics, engineering, and development goes hand in hand.
So you are a mechanical engineer?
Yes, sir.
One would expect that if you are a mechanical engineer, layman now, that you would be somewhere fabricating, welding, How does mechanical engineer work in the transportation sector where you are working now?
Yeah, thank you. One thing about mechanical engineering as a profession is very wide. Even as I explained in the slide, is from mechanical engineering we get to aero engineering, robotic engineering. So mechanical engineering, even in the transport sector, which I am, is very, very important. Transportation, you can't move. Transportation cannot be without mechanical engineering. The internal combustion in the vehicle is mechanical design. The aeroplane that is flying is mechanically designed, and anything about transport, mechanical is the key. Especially the components of transportation, most of it are mechanically driven.
All right. You spoke about CNG buses.
Yes, sir.
Now, this can also be used in generators.
Yeah.
Can also be used in normal cars.
Yes.
But the fear of most people, laymen that are not engineers, is that if gas is explosive, now if you keep such a thing in your car or in your house, in generator, it's not safe. Petrol could be safer than and less inflammable than gas. These are the genuine fears of some people why they wouldn't want to opt for CNG. As a professional, someone that have seen this firsthand, what will you say about it?
Yeah. One thing that I want you to understand is that CNG is lighter than air, so it diffuses fast. Unlike petrol, when petrol there is a leak of petrol, it flows in the ground before it dries up. If there is any ignition, can ignite. Now talking about CNG, as an engineer, when we were trying to do the conversion of these buses, we use standard materials, because by the time before you can do any form of engineering construction, let's talk about the materials that is involved. Those CNG cylinders, they are designed to be at the thickness of 60 millimeters, and every CNG cylinder has a safety valve in case of explosion. So it is so designed that even if there is an accident, the explosion should not cause, the impact should not cause explosion, except a substandard material is used. And that is where the standard organization in Nigeria stands, to be able to monitor materials coming in for use in the country. So every safety aspect of CNG is far better than that of diesel or petrol. Because when it's if there is an explosion or if there is a leakage, it diffuses inside into the air instantly.
So heat coming from the vehicle or the generator or whatever device or whatever machine, gadget, does not affect the cylinder housing the gas?
No, it doesn't, because the material used in housing that cylinder, the heat transfer process has been tested. So, for example, in the internal combustion engine, a block is used for the engine, and the heat generating even during driving the vehicles. And despite that heat, the vehicle still moves because the material used is taken into consideration, and that is part of the design that we take into consideration while designing all these things. Even the cylinder is so designed in a way that the material used can withstand any heat.
I'm asking this question because there are young people out there that they don't really know. Now, there's a gas that is used for cooking, and this CNG. What is the difference? And how accessible is getting this kind of gas to power your whatever is your car, generator, and all that? How accessible?
Actually, the gas that we use in cooking gas, they are butane gases, butane gas, and they are different from CNG. CNG is a compressed natural gas. It is compressed at a pressure of 250 bar into a thick cylinder. So it is different from that of the cooking gas. And the advantage of this CNG, why it is cheaper, is that it's being flared freely over the years in the country. You know, when you see any NNPC oil rig, you notice that there's always a fire burning on the gas they are flaring free of charge. So instead of wasting those gases, it is pipelined. Luckily, Ogun State is very lucky. The pipe of CNG runs through this state, and that's why it's easy for us to be able to be the first to start the CNG conversion.
Right. In Nigeria. Now, the mind of a young person is money.
Yeah.
Any young person would not venture into something that they know there won't be money in it.
Yes.
Now, engineering as a profession, I want to ask you sincerely, is there money in it?
Yes. Actually, let me tell you the fact, there is money in it if you are hardworking and you are innovative. You know, you can have 100 graduates at a goal. It's not all the 100 graduates that will make it. Everybody has individual perspective. If you are not hardworking and not really willing to dive into that profession, and you are not interested in that profession, first is interest. Some people go to study courses that they are not interested in. Some people graduate, they graduated as an engineer and end up being a banker. And some people, because they love that course, they practice it. If you practice it well, there is money in it. Because there is no need, they will not call you for services.
All right, lastly, because our time is up, I would like you to speak to someone that is watching this program that once, because anytime we hear about mechanical engineering, all we want to talk about is mechanic.
Yeah.
Now, explain the difference and encourage someone to go ahead and study mechanical engineering.
Yes, thank you. If you are studying mechanical engineering, it's quite different from mechanics. You know, mechanics, craftsmen, welding and fabricator, let's say a welder, all they are under mechanical engineering. For example, if you have a workshop now as an engineer, you can have 2 engineers in that workshop. You have a lot of technicians, that is, people that have OND, HND in mechanical. You will now have a lot of craftsmen. These craftsmen are the working tools. When the engineer designs anything, it gives it to the technician interprets it for the craftsman to be able to fabricate. And all the engineer does is to supervise what it is. So if you are a mechanic, you are also in that line of engineering, but you have not reached the peak, because engineers are the peak, you know, in that cadre.
Okay. All right, that is, you've been hearing the voice of engineer ADEMEHIN OLUGOYEGA ADEWALE. He has been talking to us about engineering and society, how engineering makes the society easy and how engineering makes society less expensive. I want to say a big thank you for coming to the program. He's the Director of Vehicle Inspection Service, Ogun State. And also want to say a big thank you to you for watching the program, for the number of minutes that we have spent, and also a big thank you to the sponsor of the program, Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon, FNSC. Thank you so much for sponsoring the program. And we did not get any call for today, so for the week, you can go ahead and answer the questions right on the screen. The concept of gravity was discovered by which famous physicist? You can check the options on the screen and drop your answer, full answer, on any of our social media handle. If you get it correctly, you get your prize courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer Shilon, FNSC. We have to go now. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much for watching. Next week is another time. Until then, bye-bye.